Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 10.
Now at 10, bucking the trend.
We really want them to be doing something that's going to allow them to gain the experience.
Nationwide, teenagers are facing a tougher summer job market. How local programs are helping young people land jobs in Lincoln. Then a coast-to-coast fight. Nebraska is leading a multi-state lawsuit against California. What policy opponents say could impact consumers across the country. Also, the plot thickens. Federal agents arrest 2 more in the foiled UFC attack. What new connections now link a Missouri man to the alleged Omaha ringleader? And from threats to talks.
We laid a very good foundation for a successful final deal.
The Trump administration saying it's made progress after the first round of negotiating, why the vice president is calling it a major milestone. New at 10, the summer job squeeze. Many teens looking for work are coming up empty. According to ABC, a new report predicts employment for 16 to 19-year-olds could fall to its lowest summer level this year since the government began tracking the data in 1948. The reason? Fewer entry-level openings, along with competition from older workers, leading to a tougher time for teens to land a job.
There is this gap in how many openings there are for some of those entry-level jobs. There are just not as many jobs that people are applying for.
That's not necessarily the case everywhere. Here in the capital city, youth employment has been trending upward in recent years. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Rod Fowler. While national reports show a tougher job market for teens, Channel 8's Danielle Da Silva found out why Lincoln may be bucking the trend. She joins us now. Danielle?
Rod, here in Lancaster County, the number of youth employed has increased at a steady rate. For example, according to this chart from the U.S. Census Bureau, if you look at Q2 for each year, the amount of 19 to 21-year-olds keeps going up. One reason for it, multiplying opportunities around Lincoln.
Renisha Love is the operations manager for the American Job Center of Lincoln, a federally funded program helping young people ages 16 to 24 get their foot in the door of the workforce through paid internships and career support.
And we really want it to be real life experience. We don't want them just, sitting there organizing or, just kind of that minimal stuff. We really want them to be doing something that's going to allow them to gain the experience, gain the skills that they can use in the next steps of their career.
AJC partners with the city through the mayor's youth employment program, offering job opportunities across many city agencies like Parks and Rec.
So if they know what they want to go into, we will try to place them in an area that they're interested in so they can put that on their resume, gain that experience.
And for those who don't know what they want yet, their career planners like Kayla Brown use assessments to help them figure it out.
That would be great, actually. That'd be fantastic. A little bridge, just a little hop and a little push to get to that next step. I'm able to give them information for, say, SNAP, for instance, to get them a little additional support so that they can kind of stop worrying about their barriers and work on getting employed.
Currently, they have 30 interns dispersed at businesses like the Bay, Kawasaki, and Innovation Campus through UNL.
We're also giving them weekly workshops, which they're required to attend as part of the program.
Intern Holly puts in 30 hours a week at AJC and says the help she gets is making a difference in her goal to become a digital marketer.
A lot with the workforce administrator, Dylan Wren. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm seeing, but I really don't understand it. He'll kind of sit down with me and take time out of his day to explain and show me what I need to learn.
Her message to youth her age?
Saying they can help you no matter what you're trying to do. And if they can't, they'll point you in the right direction.
The criteria for AJC's help can be found on their website. They focus on connecting with youth who may have barriers preventing them from obtaining employment. We'll have a link in this article at klcantv.com. Reporting live from the studio, Danielle Da Silva, Channel 8 News.
All right. Thank you, Danielle. New developments. The White House UFC plot investigation now hitting closer to the tri-states. 2 more suspects are now charged. One of them is 28-year-old Jordan Rinker of St. Joseph, Missouri, a city just a few hours from Lincoln. Federal investigators say Rinker accepted $1,200 from Omaha suspect Abraham Alvarez and helped move money to others involved in the alleged plot. A second suspect out of Washington state is accused of talking about explosive drones. Both men are charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Happening right now, police here in Lincoln need your help finding a Lincoln man. Here's a picture of him. 42-year-old Daniel Maurer was last seen around 2 a.m. today walking away from a residence near West Millstone Road in southwest Lincoln. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. He was last wearing a black windbreaker with basketball shorts or jeans. He walks with a limp and has some mental health conditions that require medication. Call police if you see him. Let's get to your first forecast now on this Monday night. Let's take a live look outside from our network of cameras. It may be officially summer, right? But it felt more like spring today. Much cooler than normal temperatures. Let's see if this is going to continue. Here's Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Rusty.
I almost wore a jacket today. That can't be right on the first full day of summer. Yesterday was the beginning of summer. But today was the first full day of summer, and it didn't feel like it. 77 for a high. I mean, that's not bad, right? I mean, 77 degrees in Lincoln and Beatrice for a high, 73 in Grand Island, 71, one of the cooler spots in O'Neill. It was a little warmer further west, some 80s out there, but we should be around 87, 88 degrees this time of year, so definitely not summer-like. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, kind of a quiet evening out there with the flag barely moving on our Honda of Lincoln Cam. We're at 70 degrees with a light south breeze. Temperatures are in the 60s now for just about everybody, hanging on to 70 in Lincoln. Dew points are absolutely wonderful. Middle and upper 50s and lower 60s, that'll do. One little isolated storm between North Platte and McCook that's moving towards McCook, not expected to do much of anything, but we may see some more storms as we head through the overnight into early tomorrow morning. Look at that, a batch of showers and storms, some of them which could be strong, are trying to head our way. So we'll talk more about that and break down the hour-by-hour forecast in a few minutes.
Thank you, Rusty. And with all the rain we saw this past weekend, NDOT says overnight closures along US 77 and Warlick Boulevard interchange have been extended. Starting this Friday night until 6 a.m. Saturday, northbound US 77 traffic will be detoured while crews install girders for a new bridge over the highway. New at 10, Nebraska is taking California to court. Attorney General Mike Hilgers is leading a multi-state lawsuit challenging a California law that regulates plastic packaging. Nebraska joining 16 other states in the lawsuit. Hilgers says the law reaches far beyond California's borders and could drive up the cost of everyday goods for consumers across the country. The lawsuit argues the act gives California too much control over how products are packaged and sold nationwide. Also new at 10, a former Bellevue police officer, Ryan Augustin, was sentenced up to 43 years in prison today. The 39-year-old was convicted of soliciting sexual photos from a 17-year-old. And in another case, a woman claimed he held a gun to her head and held her against her will. New progress in U.S. talks with Iran after tense weekend tested a fragile deal. The Trump administration says it's making progress after the first round of in-person negotiations wrapped up in Switzerland. Vice President J.D. Vance says Iran has agreed to allow nuclear inspectors back into the country as soon as this week, calling it a major step toward ending the biggest question mark.
That is a major milestone for the American people and the first step in permanently denuclearizing or permanently ending a nuclear weapons program in Iran.
Didn't go without some tension, with Iran having threatened to walk away from the deal. They accused Israel of violating the agreement with strikes in Lebanon. President Trump responding by warning Iran not to close the Strait of Hormuz, which is part of the broader deal. Happening tomorrow, Seward County leaders could hit the pause button on data centers. Seward County commissioners will consider a proposed moratorium on data center development. Supporters say a pause would give county leaders more time to study the potential impacts of large-scale projects, including water use, power demands, and land development. If approved, Seward County would join a growing number of communities across the state that have temporarily halted data center projects. What do you say we talk some sports now? New at 10, a champion has been crowned at the College World Series. For the latest on who captured the title and today's championship game. Let's check in with Sports Director Nate Johnson, who joins us now live here in the studio. Nate.
Hey, thank you, Rod. Well, Oklahoma took down North Carolina tonight in pretty dominant fashion. The College World Series concluded from Charles Schwab Field tonight's game, and that's officially in the books. Game 3 of the title series between OU and North Carolina. And this series went Oklahoma's way in Game 1. The Tar Heels in Game 2, and tonight it was all Sooners all the way. Oklahoma scored 2 in the second to start the scoring and added another 3. Make it 3-0 in the third inning. North Carolina, got on the board in the bottom of the third to cut into that 3-0 lead, but Oklahoma's bats caught another win, if you will, scoring 3 runs in the fourth, another in the fifth, 2 more in the sixth. And despite the Tar Heels' Caden Glauber making a brief appearance, it was all OU all the way. Glauber and North Carolina were 29-0 when he made an appearance in a game. Tonight, just not their night as Oklahoma wins the greatest show on dirt in dominating fashion, the hottest team in college baseball in the second half of the season, proving why. The final of the night, 13-2 Sooners. And OU now captures their 3rd NCAA baseball title and the school's first championship since 1994. A little more sports talk coming your way in the Sports Zone. For now, though, Rod, will send things back over to you.
Thank you, Nate. After the break, coming to Lincoln, one of country music's biggest rising stars is adding the capital city to a sold-out tour when fans will get their chance to grab tickets. And tomorrow night, the next generation of NBA stars will hear their names called. The 2026 NBA draft begins at 7 o'clock right here on Channel 8. From proven prospects to potential surprise picks, see where the league's futures take shape.
Cooler than average today, and that's actually going to continue through the next several days, but summer does come back. I'll show you when we come back.
Every play.
New at 10, another big name is headlining Pinnacle Bank Arena. Country star Ella Langley is bringing her Dandelion Tour to Lincoln this fall. Langley will perform in Lincoln on Friday, October 30th. The show is part of an expanded leg of her sold-out Dandelion Tour, which added more than 20 new dates across the country. Tickets go on sale this Friday, with country artist Gabriella Rose scheduled to join the Lincoln stop as a supporting act. Well, right now, Habitat for Humanity in Grand Island is quickly creating affordable housing. Just how fast are we talking? Take a look at this. H&H Concrete and Construction posting this time lapse of other crews helping out. It's kind of fun to watch, isn't it? This is them laying the groundwork for the 124th Habitat for Humanity house there in that area. Wow. The Habitat for Humanity there is calling these projects blitz builds. Right now, they're getting one affordable house built every single week. Channel 8's Emma Norwood finding out how they're doing it and what's driving them to accomplish their mission.
When she gets the keys to her house tomorrow, she is going in ready to be a super confident home buyer.
The Grand Island area Habitat for Humanity is building more than just homes. They're creating a path to stability for hundreds of families.
Home ownership is very difficult now more than ever. So I feel very proud to be able to play a very small part in this awesome work, touching all of these families in this incredibly positive way.
The nonprofit completing its 124th home, marking decades of work aimed at expanding affordable housing in the community. This home going to the Carmona family, and it took only 1 week to complete. For them, it's incredibly special.
She and her 2 sons, their home burned down a couple of years ago. So she was displaced and living with family members for the last however many months. And so this is especially cool for her and her 2 teenage sons to have the keys to their own home.
Habitat homeowners helping build some of those homes, alongside volunteers and local businesses giving their time and efforts. Each finished house is another step towards strengthening neighborhoods and providing so many with a foundation they can build on for many years to come.
We think about a family that worked so hard to get there. We get to celebrate them and celebrate with them at that home dedication. But for that family, it's life-changing. So in the Grand Island area, for us to have built 124 homes, I think you have to think about it in the amount of families. That's 124 families.
Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
New at 10, a major water project is officially underway in Fairbury. It's a multi-year effort designed to expand the city's water capacity. Work is happening in several locations, including along Highway 15 and at Crystal Springs, where crews are installing new infrastructure and preparing for a temporary treatment facility expected to open this August. City officials are asking drivers and pedestrians to use extra caution near construction zones.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
What usually happens around here is spring starts and then we're 2 or 3 weeks into spring and summer just kicks in and it's just hot. Hardly ever do we see the exact opposite happen where summer starts and spring just decides to hang on a little bit longer. That's happening right now. So please remember this when it gets really, really hot, that the first few days, if not week of summer, started off relatively pleasant. 76, we should be at 87. 56 for the low, we should be at 64. Please remember that, that's all I ask. 48th and Cornhusker Highway, 1 car. Oh, there's a few more coming. No, just 1 more. It's just, I can't wait till they open this back up. It's just, it hasn't been the same. Makes my 10 p.m. show sad. ABC's Seamless looking at a very quiet 48th and Cornhusker Highway. Temperature-wise, comfortable. We're still at 70 in Lincoln, 72 in Beatrice, but most of us in the 60s, 71 in Omaha, everybody else in the 60s, 65 in Grand Island and Aurora and Kearney. Look at the dew points too, 50s to around 60, maybe a little higher in York and Aurora at 63 and 62, almost 0 wind. It's less than 5 or 6 miles per hour. Cloud cover has thickened up a little bit. Precipitation still off to the west. A couple of bolts of lightning trying to continue as this heads to McCook. It's fizzling fairly quickly. A couple of more storms trying to move into the Panhandle. I have some friends, family, a lot of relatives that live in the Panhandle and in and around Scottsbluff. I got some pictures from Scottsbluff. Baseball-size hail was falling earlier this afternoon in around Scottsbluff and Gering. So monster storms out that way earlier, but now everything is quieted down, but we're not done. That system in the Panhandle is going to push out a little wave of energy and will try to spark some thunderstorms in the morning. This is 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and 1 or 2 of these could be strong to severe. It continues through 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, lingering through the entire morning hours. Look at this, a couple of strong storms between O'Neill and Grand Island. Rain trying to move into eastern Nebraska. It eventually does that. By noon, any of this could be strong to severe, and then it pushes down south of the interstate here from Grand Island to Lincoln to Omaha by 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Again, any of this could be strong to severe, and then it moves south and east. Now, this doesn't look like a huge storm system or a really strong storm system, but just enough that the Storm Prediction Center has us in a level 1 marginal risk, which means maybe some 1-inch hail, maybe some 60-mile-per-hour winds, but most of it will just be below severe weather limits. But the chance is there for quarter-size hail. The tornado threat's way off to the west, damaging wind mainly to the south. So it doesn't look like a huge severe setup, but 1 or 2 strong storms and hopefully some rain falls across the state. Temperatures tonight in the upper 50s to around 60. Another cool night and another cool day tomorrow. Please enjoy it while it's here. Lower and middle 70s for highs on Tuesday. Wednesday, touch warmer at 80. Back into the 70s Thursday and Friday. We have storms possible Thursday, just a small chance on Friday. And then we crank the heat up. Mother Nature says, all right, enough of that. Back to the 90s we go. And it looks like almost every day next week we'll see high temperatures in the 90s. And that's, well, July right around the corner. Okay, weather trivia time. Which would be the bigger hailstone? We were just talking about how big a hail they had in Scotts Bluff. Which is bigger, softball or DVD size hail?
Nate's out here with me, so you've got 2 guesses coming.
Yep.
Okay.
I would say DVD, wouldn't you?
Well, we'll go softball.
Okay, the answer is DVD.
Nice.
Barely though, by like 3/4 of an inch. It's, I mean, not much. They're close.
All right. Thank you very much, Rusty. Hey, right now you only have 2 more chances to catch Jazz in June. It's Lincoln's free outdoor jazz festival held every Tuesday night in June at the Sheldon Sculpture Garden. There's still 2 concerts left this year. They have included critically acclaimed artists showing up and even some Grammy winners. Here's some of the attendees with what the event means to them.
I like going to Jazz in June because it's a Lincoln tradition for our family, and it's just nice to sit outside and enjoy each other's company with the background music, and it's a good time.
We've been coming a long time, and it makes it feel like it's summer. Jazz in June arrives, it's summertime.
Tomorrow, Josh Hoyer's Colosso 4 will take the stage to perform some raw, authentic blues. And just like always, the show will be free. Coming up next, we are heading into the Sports Zone. Nate, the College World Series finished up tonight.
Yeah, 2 teams were battling for a title. We'll have more on that coming up after the break. And we'll be talking about 2 Huskers who will be performing in the MLB Draft Combine. See you in a bit.
From the Channel 8 Sports Zone, sponsored by Greens Furnace and Plumbing, here's Channel 8 News Sports with Sports Director Nate Johnson. The Channel 8 News Sports Zone.
The College World Series concluded from Charles Schwab Field tonight. In the final game, it's officially in the books. Hey, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in to the Sports Zone tonight. It was a battle, Game 3, a title series between Oklahoma and North Carolina, and this series went OU's way in Game 1. The Tar Heels' way in Game 2. And tonight, it was all Sooners all the way. Oklahoma scored 2 in the second to start the scoring, and they added in another one in the third to make it 3-0. North Carolina got on the board in the bottom of the third to cut into that lead, but Oklahoma's bats, well, they just caught another wind, scoring 3 runs in the fourth, another in the fifth, and 2 more in the sixth. Despite the Tar Heels, Caden Glauber making a brief appearance, it was all OU all the way. Glauber and North Carolina were 29-0 when he made an appearance in a game up to this point. Tonight, just not their night, as Oklahoma wins the greatest show on dirt in dominating fashion. The hottest team in college baseball in the second half of the season, proving why. Again, the final of the night, 13-2 Sooners, and OU captures their third NCAA baseball title and the school's first championship since 1994. Sticking on the baseball diamond for a bit, 2 Huskers will be performing in the MLB Draft Combine this year. Carson Yassa and Ty Horn participate from June 23rd to June 26th in Phoenix at Chase Field, the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, the pair are among 195 collegiate players and 335 overall prospects who will participate in the showcase. In 2025, 256 of the 309 players who participated in the Combine were selected in the MLB Draft. Both played huge parts in Nebraska baseball season this past year. Good luck, fellas. We'll be keeping an eye on how they do this week. Finally, let's take a look at the FIFA World Cup. A lot of games happening today. Some big games, big matchups, and some big teams playing. Argentina took down Austria 2-0 the final in that one. Messi is good as ever again. Norway and Senegal 3-2. Erling Haaland playing really well once again for them. They squeaked by Senegal 3-2 the final. France and Mbappe look just untouchable right now. 3-0 the final over Iraq. And then Jordan and Algeria are playing right now. So a lot of fun going on there on Fox. So that'll do it for sports tonight, though. Rod will send things back over to you.
Thank you, Nate. And we'll have a final check of the forecast with Rusty right after the break. Before we end the night, new at 10, coffee, cats, and a whole lot of cuddles. The Kearney Area Animal Shelter is celebrating the success of its first ever Coffee and Kitties event. Animal lovers stop by to sip coffee, spend time with these cats, and support the shelter through donations. Organizers say the event was a hit with both visitors and their four-legged friends, and the money raised will help care for future kittens in need of a loving home. What a great idea. Coffee and kittens.
Like
All right.
it.
We're going to get weather with Rusty and see how things are looking. Is it still going to feel spring-like?
For at least a few more days, temperature-wise, it should be about 10 degrees warmer each afternoon. We'll get there. We just have to wait. Now, there are a few showers and some thunderstorms in the Panhandle, parts of southwest Nebraska, areas that really, really need the rain. So hopefully they can see more and more and more. Temperature-wise, doing just fine. We're in the 60s to around 70. As we head through tonight, I think storms start to pick up. There's those isolated strong storms, but by tomorrow morning, more scattered showers and thunderstorms just kind of spread across central and eastern Nebraska. A few of those could be strong to severe as they move across the state through the afternoon. We'll keep an eye on them.
All right, as you always do. Thank you, Rusty, and thank you for joining us. Megan Houston will be here for your morning news starting at 5 o'clock. Jimmy Kimmel is coming up next. Have a great night.